Hello everybody, happy day to you. Today we are doing another makeup artist recreation attempt. And today we are doing this beautiful vintage style makeup look that VANNGO posted on his YouTube channel. I love VANNGO. His voice in his videos are pure ASMR. He might not know it yet, but he should really start a second ASMR channel, except it's not necessary because he already is ASMR. Anyway, he's an amazing makeup artist. And he did this really fun pastel-y look. And it's one of those looks that I wouldn't typically do or wear on myself. However, there were so many good tips within this video when it came to the complexion, the base, and application techniques and whatnot. A few new products to try that I simply had to try it. I really wanted to do the look here for you today, and I'm excited to dive in. Let's put some blue vintage style makeup on our faces and do this makeup look inspired by VANNGO. Let us begin with a base. He spent a lot of time adding on tons of layers of succulent moisture and massaging the beautiful model's face. I don't have the exact products that he used, but I figured that there'd be nothing better to replicate the idea than my Tatcha Dewy Skin lineup. So I'm going to start with the Tatcha Dewy Skin Serum, and I actually really loved, he made a comment in the video as he was massaging all the goodness into the skin saying that people talk about not using too much product because it can ball up when you apply makeup on top of it, and he was like, no, you can take off any excess product. He's like, you definitely want the skin to be super dewy and moisturized. And I was like, yes, hung, yes, I am in agreement. Let us layer on all of that moisture. So that's the serum. I'm also going to go in with the cream. How much is too much? This is such a beautiful combo for makeup application. It makes your skin feel so extra juicy. I'm not gonna be able to do the whole face massage that he was doing, but it looked super satisfying, and I feel like I would do many things to have VANNGO do my makeup and do that little facial massage routine on my face. Okay, so that's the skin nice and prepped. Then he went in with concealer, actually a color corrector, and he had this lovely little color corrector quad that he was using. I do not have the quad, but he did mention just using like a peachy colored corrector underneath the eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my little Charlotte Tilbury color corrector here. And I'm going to start applying that under my eyes. And he did this before foundation, which I thought was really interesting. And it's not something that I normally do. Typically, I would go in with my foundation here and then do any of my correctors and concealers after the fact. But I like that he did the color corrector, then he went in with foundation, and then did a layer of concealer where any additional concealing was needed. I also haven't used this in so long, and I forgot how creamy and delicious it was. Wow. I have this one in the shade 1 Fair, and I'm just putting that right onto the dark sacs on my under eye and just patting it out with my finger. And then I know it's not technically the way on the color wheel, but maybe I'll just like use that on any of my redness patches. Like that's doing okay on my red patches. So what the heck? Let's just put that on all of my redness. I've got this lovely little rashy friggin' breakout here on my cheek right now, and it's yeah. We'll deal with that in a moment. But there's the color corrector applied. Then he went in with the Chanel Le Beige foundation. I don't have that particular foundation, so I thought it would be a fun time to just go in and use the #1 Chanel foundation. I have this one in the shade BD31. And he took this, he used it off of a palette actually, and he just did little spots around. So I'm just placing that on the back of my hand. And then I'm gonna dot it around my face like he did, following his lead. And I was actually really excited because VANNGO uses a lot of the Rephr brushes, and I love my Rephr brushes and I use them all the time. So I was thrilled that a lot of the brushes I actually had, and then he introduced us to some new ones, which I'll get to obviously later in the video. But okay, there's the foundation. I just spotted it around. We might need to take this down a little bit on the neck, but that's okay. I'm gonna go in with my Rephr 31 brush and use this to blend in the foundation. And he just did this really lovely light base. Oh yeah, that's already blending out super nicely. And again, on top of the corrector, which I thought was super interesting. So then I do have a few little spots remaining, so I'm gonna go ahead and use a concealer. He just used that same color correcting and concealing palette, but I'm actually gonna go ahead and use the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer and just use this to conceal anywhere that I need to, which is here along my cheek where I have this lovely little rash. And I'm just gonna do a little bit extra around my mouth and nose area, just where I have a lot of that redness. And I'm gonna blend this in with a little bit more of a dense brush. This combination of foundation and concealer is not working. It's literally, oh my God, it's wiping off my face. I can't, you guys. Not good, not cute. Let's rewind that. Let's go ahead and try that again. I'm gonna take the Tatcha Dewy Skin Serum, the Dewy Skin Cream, and let's go back in with that corrector and put that, we'll just do it under the eyes this time. Now, just because my skin is now overstimulated and it's very sensitive, I'm just gonna go ahead and beauty blend my go-to, my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation, and just apply a nice little lovely layer of that on. And the beauty blender will just help to lock in all of that hydration. All right, we've got our dew back. I'm gonna go ahead and just use my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer and go ahead and highlight underneath the eyes, just a little bit with a lighter shade. And just go in with the deeper shade where I need some extra concealing, AKA again on the cheeks. All right, we've made it. We've done the base. Now I want to go ahead and move on to the cream bronzer, which I was really excited about. I'm going to use a different one than Hung VANNGO. Hung used the Say Beauty cream bronzer. I'm actually going to use my Tom Ford cream contour here today. But what I was really excited about was actually the brush he used for cream contour, because I thought it was brilliant. And he used this It Cosmetics double-sided brush, which I picked up. It has this nice big side and then a little mini side. Brilliant, because he used this all over the face and then used the little side for the nose contour. A little two-in-one. I thought that was super fascinating and wanted to pick it up and give this brush a little go. So I'm going to take some of the cream contour, and the brush looked so satisfying also as he was applying it. And I'm going to use that to bronze and contour up the entire face. Oh my gosh, it's so soft. It's so soft. That was so fast. That was great for application. Let's try the little small side and go and do the nose, which I think is so great. What a perfect, easy, like go-to brush for every day and for travel. If you're a cream contour and bronzer lover, this is stunning. That was so easy. That was so fast. Look at that. Definitely adding that in my everyday makeup bag. That's brilliant. So next he used this powder from Givenchy, and I thought it was interesting because it's this lovely little like rosy, pinky, peachy little combo here, and he used that to set the makeup. And I've actually been seeing a lot of these like pinky peachy toned powders on TikTok and I've really been wanting to try one. Oh, it's very fragranced. Woo, okay. And it's not something that I have tried in my makeup routine, like using a pinky or peachy powder. Oh my gosh, did you guys just witness that? Look at that powder. Wow. I am le shooketh. That was so pretty. That was such a pretty powder. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna keep playing with that one. That was very exciting. Let's move on to the bronzer. He actually used the Gucci bronzer, which is one of the more beautifully packaged bronzers that I've ever witnessed in my lifetime. And he just did a little dusting of this. And he talked about like setting in the other bronzers. So I'm just gonna take a nice little dousing of that and just place that everywhere that we just placed the cream contour and bronzer, and just use it to kind of set everything in and add a nice little warmth. This is something that I definitely love to do in my own makeup routine. Love to see it validated from Hung. And this is a lovely, lovely little combo. So I'm going to leave the blush and highlight for later. Let's move on to the eyebrows, because I was really, really curious to try the tip that he did. So I picked up the two products that he used on the brows, which were the Anastasia Beverly Hills products. I bought the brow powder duo as well as the brow pen. And I thought this was really interesting because I haven't used a powder to fill in my brows in so long. My shade, like back in the day when I used to do like the block eyebrows, I used to use MAC Mystery eyeshadow, and that was the powder that I used. So I'm very interested to try this powder out, and I actually have the brush that he used to apply it. This is the Smith Cosmetics 253 brush, and he just did a little dip of the powder. I might have got a shade that's a little bit too deep for me. I don't know. I just wanted something like a little bit more cool toned and taupey. But I'm going to try the method he did. So I'm going to brush up my brows, which, I mean, the model obviously was like perfect and had perfect brows, so I don't know how this is going to work for me, but he kind of just used the powder. This brush actually has a little point to it, so it's kind of like you can really get in there and wiggle. But I don't know how this is going to work, but we're just going to add this powder, kind of fluff it around to add some fullness. Like, is that working? I don't know. We're going to have some bold vintage brows today, my friends. Definitely not the right color for me. My bad. That's what I get for ordering that online. Okay, so he did that powder, and then he used the brow pen to add some brow strips. Okay, let's go ahead and add some brow gel to that. Definitely gonna need to retry this tip with a lighter powder, the shade that actually works for me, because I think that's interesting. I like the method. The shade I picked up was obviously just too dark, but I'm going to try it again. Absolutely. I think that's a really fun way to fill in the brows. And it was actually just really easy to like take that brush and fluff it along. So what do we think? Bold brows today, my friends. Okay, let's move on to the eyes. I don't have the eyeshadow primer that he used, but I'm gonna go ahead and use my NARS tinted eyeshadow base and apply that onto the eyeballs. The one he used was actually quite light, so I specifically grabbed my tinted one because it was giving a little bit of a brighter base for the pastel colors to go on top. But if you wanted to use a white base, you know, we could always pull out that good old NYX Jumbo, was it NYX Milk Jumbo Pencil? What a YouTube classic. So I'm just patting that all in. And then I was really excited to pick up the palette that he used in the video. This is the Natasha Denona Pastel palette, and Hung recently used this in this video, and I've also seen Nikki Makeup playing with this palette, so I was really excited to pick it up to recreate some of the looks. And I was swatching some of the shadows in here. The shimmer shadows in here are so beautiful. They look like they'd be like big and chunky and glittery, but when you actually swatch them, it's like the most fine, beautiful, like cosmic little dusting of color. It's so pretty and actually so much more wearable than I thought it was going to be. Like they're much more soft, like super fine, super soft shimmer. That would just be the most beautiful little eyeshadow toppers. So I'm actually really excited to play with this. So we're going to start with the shade Airy, which is the shade he started with, and taking my Rephr 02 brush, and we're just going to pat that all over the lid. Pat. I love these eyeshadow looks that just take one color and like smear them all over the lid. I think it's so fun to do. And as he said in the video, it just makes it a little bit more wearable. Like often when I play with color, I will just do like that one wash of color all over the lid. And I think it's really fun to do. It's just patting that all in. This shade is beautiful. Then we're going to take a little fluffy brush and that shade Brisk here, and just use that in the crease to kind of blend it out and add a lighter shade. Just really softly running that through the crease. Okay, and then we're gonna go in with this shade Illusion, which I actually wanna swatch for you because it looks white in the palette, but when you swatch it, I don't know if you can see that, but it shows up kind of pink. It's really pretty. It has this beautiful pinky reflect to it, which is super unique and very lovely. And I'm just gonna use that on the brow bone. He also uses this as the face highlight later, which I think is so fun. I don't know if you can see the pink reflect in the camera, but it's really pretty. And just taking a little bit of that on the inner corner as well. And then I love what he did with the lower lash line. We're gonna use this pink shade right here. And it's kind of just like a cupcake pink. It's so pretty. Oh, I just got that all in my eyeball. Oops. We're gonna leave the eyeshadow there, and I'm gonna apply a little bit of the MAC Stack mascara. I think he was actually gonna leave it without mascara. He did a really light coat, but on the upper and lower lashes. So I'm just gonna spread that out, try to keep it really nice and light and fluttery. And then apply some to the lower lashes as well. My lower lashes can be really frightening, especially when I rub it all over. BRB, need to fix that. And then let's move on to blush and lips. I don't have the blush or the lip product that he used, so I'm kind of just improvising here. I decided to pull out my little Surratt trio here. I have the, I think it's Barbe Papa and Cherubique. I think a little mixture of these two looks very much like the M Cosmetics blush that he used. So just applying that shade onto the cheeks. And then I'm going to go back in with that Illusion shade and use that as the highlight as well. Wow. So for lips, I have a few options. It looked like super, super bright pink in Hung's video, but when I was looking up the images and the swatches, it looked to be like a very coral lipstick. So I don't know. I wanted to try these two Rare Beauty lipsticks mixed together. This is Motivate and Energize, and I kind of thought the two of these might give like a similar effect on the lips. So I'm going to start with the deeper one and just apply that onto the lips. This is a really pretty stain, so it's not going to look the same. Like the lipstick he used was like really, really creamy and like a nice thick lipstick on the lips. He also used a lip liner. This will have a much like softer effect, but I'm hoping that the color will be close to what he used. Okay, and then I'm going to take the lighter shade and put that in the center. Okay, so that's my little lip combo attempt. I think the eyebrows are really throwing me off. They're super dark, but I think this was a really fun, playful look, and it was a good opportunity to test out some of the products that Hung used in his video, as well as some of the techniques. So there's definitely a few things that I need to retry later. And even if it's not gonna be your everyday go-to makeup look, I do think it's fun to play with color every now and again. And honestly, I was really smitten by the look of this new pastel palette from Natasha Denona, so I was really itching to play with it, and Hung always has such amazing inspiration with his makeup skills, and I was really excited to kind of give this look a go and have a little playtime. So I'd love to hear what you guys think of the look. With my shirt choice and this makeup look, I look like I'm about to serve ice cream in like a vintage diner. Like, hello kids, you want a scoop of cotton candy? Those are the vibes. Definitely don't have the same look as the model. She was stunning. But this was my attempt at recreating the look from Hung VANNGO. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you had some fun playing with some color with me today, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And also please let me know if there are any other looks that you want me to try to recreate. I'd love to hear from you. Again, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much as always for being here, and I will see you all tomorrow for a new video.